The garden's last gifts, potatoes, herbs, butternut squash, gathered into this one warm dish. Autumn is upon us, and this shepherd's pie is the way the season tastes.
Hi friends, it's Marty. Welcome back to my tiny Herbie kitchen. Today we're going to be making a wonderful vegetarian shepherd's pie. So I'm going to walk you through all the ingredients as I'm doing all the prep. So let me get started. We're going to start with peeling and dicing a 3-pound butternut squash, and we're going to put it in the oven. So we'll start with this one because this is the one that takes the longest.
I have my oven preheating at 425. It's my preferred method for roasting veggies.
I like to just use my knife to go down and peel it because I find that the vegetable peeler actually takes too long and it doesn't take off as much as I want. So I'm going to do this for a little bit and then we'll get right to dicing. We're just going to dice these into some fairly large chunks because at the end of the day they're just going to roast in the oven and they're going to get mashed. So it's going to be so yummy. I'm telling you, you're not going to miss the meat at all in this one. There we go. I lost one to the floor. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, a little salt, black pepper, olive oil, quick toss.
To this pan, I'm going to be adding 1.5 cups of green, not brown lentils, a bay leaf, a pinch of salt, and 4.5 cups of water. I'll bring it to a boil and let them cook just until tender, not mushy. That could be about 25 to maybe 30 minutes. I'll be prepping the mirepoix now, which is carrots, celery, and onion. But you'll never catch me dicing a carrot. I always grate them. I find that they're too unstable to do it on a cutting board. And the flavor distribution, much better by grating. 2 celery ribs diced.
I'm going to put these in a bowl so that I can now dice my onions. Into my bowl. The lentils are going to provide a nice, hearty, earthy flavor, but these mushrooms, they are going to be pulling most of the weight and giving you that nice, meaty flavor. So I'm going to be using my food processor in order to do that because it goes much faster.
That's 1.5 pounds of mushrooms that I'd like to rough chop before they go into the food processor, just to make things easier.
I lost one. There you have it. A couple of tablespoons because you know what? In here we're also going to be sauteing the mushrooms and we want everything to get a beautiful flavor. Veggies into my hot pan. A little bit of salt. And the salt is really there just to help draw out some moisture and it also creates a nice little layer of flavors. I'm going to drain the lentils and set them aside because they are just about done. I don't want to overcook them because they're going to finish cooking in the oven also. And I don't want everything to become a giant mush.
That's 1 giant clove of garlic.
Let's give it a nice stir. Only 40 seconds is all we need, just until you can smell the aroma from the garlic, and then we're ready to add the mushrooms and the herbs. Mushrooms. I'm going to let the mushrooms cook down a little bit with the rest of the veg, and then we're going to add in the rest of the herbs. Okay, so the butternut squash is done. I'm going to pull it out of the oven. Oh, my glasses get foggy. Here they are. Oh, the golden color on them. It's just so beautiful. This time of year, I really, really love butternut squash. Look at this. Okay, so the butternut squash is going to rest for a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and mash it up because that's going to get all blended in there with the mushrooms and the lentils and more herbs and some breadcrumbs also. I'm going to show you how we make the breadcrumbs while everything's resting. They're nice and tender, so it's really easy to do it here.
You can't make shepherd's pie without potatoes, so here I'm dicing about 3 pounds of Yukon Gold and 1 white potato.
Okay, these potatoes are ready for the pot. I lost the potato somewhere.
We'll get it later.
Okay. Okay, so these mushrooms and veggies have cooked really, really well. So now I'm going to add lots of fresh thyme. And I mean, all you have to do is just peel it back. You don't have to be fancy about this. Now, I don't bother chopping the thyme. It doesn't need to. So don't worry about it. Save yourself some time. No pun intended. That was like about 5 sprigs of thyme, of fresh thyme. I like to use the fresh thyme. I find that it's herbaceous, but it's not perfumey like dry thyme can be. But if you like dry thyme and you work with it, then feel free to add it. What I'm going to do is cut the heat and add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Give her a good stir and set her aside. We're going to go ahead and prep the bread filling that's going to go into the lentils. Here I have some parsley, thyme, basil. Yes, we're going full crazy on herbs because we need to get this to go to the next level in flavor. But first, I'm going to crack my 2 eggs. I'm going to put it right into the same bowl that I'm going to put the bread in. Uh-oh. Better now than later. There we go. I'm going to chop the herbs. I'm just going to do something like a tablespoon of each. You can do more. Yes, I'm making a mess. This is a real kitchen. Who are we kidding? How much? Look, I'd say a tablespoon of each, but you know, I'm the herby person, so I might want to put in a little bit more. All right, we're going to give these a quick little chop. Just a nice little rough chop, okay? Now, I'm not going to use the crust because I want to keep it as tender as possible. For this amount of food amount of filling that I have with the lentils and the squash, the butternut squash, I'm going to do 2 cups. Roughly about 2 cups. The reason that I'm doing this is because it provides not only flavor, but a lot of structure to the veg filling so it doesn't fall apart on you. But you'll see when we do the finished product. All right, all this bread is ready. I'm going to bring over my bowl and put all my ingredients without getting it on the floor. I can't promise I won't. Pinch of salt, black pepper, a cup of milk to this lovely mixture. And a nice mix. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to put this aside, do a little cleanup. Now we're going to take our lentils and our mushroom mixture. Place it in here. Lentils have been well drained. And the breadcrumb mixture. I mean, look at that. Give it a good stir. The butternut squash that we mashed earlier. And the butternut squash is going to lend a lot of flavor and a little bit of sweetness in there also, and help provide a little bit of extra structure to the lentils along with the breadcrumbs. Hey, we're at the home stretch. So I drained the potatoes. Now what I'm going to be adding to make it extra herby and ump up the flavors quite a bit is I'm going to be adding this, the Boursin cheese spread. I'm not affiliated with these guys in any way, okay? If you don't want to use this and you want to use some cream cheese or goat cheese and add extra herbs in there, that's totally fine. But I'm taking a little bit of a shortcut because this one is shallots and chives, I believe. Yeah, shallots and chives. And so that means I'm umping up the herby flavor and the shallot flavor. It's going to be delicious. Also, I'm going to be adding 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese and some cream to this. And I'm going to also add a little bit of fresh chives so that everything looks really pretty. I'm not going to be adding butter into this because this is going to do a lot of work for me. So in goes the Herbie cheese. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. If you want, you can use milk, but I find this gives it much better structure. And I'm going to get my potato masher and take it away. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit more cream, about another 1/4 cup. Okay, now I'm going to add my cheese, chives, give it a stir. Oh, let's not forget the black pepper. Always need black pepper. Okay, let's assemble it all. I have my oven at 375. So now I'm going to add my lentil and vegetable mixture. Mashed potatoes. And we're just going to layer that right on top. Oh, the cheese is nice and melting already. We'll give her a nice, leaving her out. Now it's up to you. You can just go ahead and leave it like this, give her some little swirls, or you could try and give her some little fork patterns. And feel free to go ahead and add some Parmigiano Reggiano or some extra cheese on top. But I find that it has so much flavor already that I'm not really going to fuss by putting any more extra cheese on there. Okay, she's ready for the oven. 35-40 minutes. Well, damn, isn't she just gorgeous? All right, time to cut into this bad boy. I'm so excited. And just so you know, this also freezes really, really well, and it makes a great, make ahead kind of meal. So I'm just gonna get a little piece because I want to have some with the family too. All right, here we go. All right, so I only got myself a little piece because I didn't want to get too much. But look at her. Doesn't she look beautiful? So you can serve this with anything you'd like. I personally like pickled beets, but for this brevity of this video, I'm just going to do this. All right, let's give it a taste. Mmm. 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 Everything is so perfectly blended in here, you really cannot tell that you would be missing the meat. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you that it tastes like ground beef or like lamb, but it is very, very satisfying. And those mashed potatoes, I mean, oh, so herby, so cheesy. And I mean, you've got to try making this. You know you want some, don't you? Anyway, friends, thank you so much for letting me in your home. If you have any suggestions that you'd like to see me make something else that I can ump up the flavors by using lots of fresh herbs, anything that you have in mind, do leave it in the comments. And I do hope that you like and subscribe. It really does help my tiny little Herbie channel. Till next time, thank you so much. Bye, friends.